I wanted to do a demonstration of a little bit of what I do in my sessions, which is I talk to your soul and your guides, and usually I would get a question or a topic like an inquiry, a request from the person. Oh, I'd like you to look into my issue of this and that. You know, why am I having this issue of this that feels whatever, or like a curiosity of why do I have this pattern in my life, or something like that. So because I didn't have a question from you specifically that you asked me, I was going to ask, oh, can you please, share with me whatever is relevant that you want Laura to hear, right now, or to get information or clarity about. And Laura, like you came in. I have this. So, sorry, just a second. Yeah. So you came in looking and feeling like this drawing. And I don't feel that it's like the whole of you, but it's like the part of you that presented itself to me. You looked like a movement of energy from top to bottom like this, and like waves going out. And it felt so relaxing. I actually felt like your maybe what you do for people, because it was going like this. It was like washing me with like a relief, you know? And I felt it like a healing in my throat, like a shower of healing from my throat down through my heart, down through my stomach. And it just went, and I was just sitting there for 5 minutes loving that what you like your what you had to offer, or your gift. And I was like, wow. It felt amazing. So usually I would when I talk to souls, I kind of see an image or something like that, like, so that feels like a part of people's nature. I don't feel like the whole of you, but maybe what you're expressing in this lifetime as Laura, at least, or could be more. Anyway, so you came up like this, and and I said to you, okay, well, I don't have a topic from you, but what would you like to say? And then you asked me a question. You said, well, we're going to be talking about this, sharing with people this conversation. What is your intention? Yes, because I asked you, what is your kind of like intention? What do you want to talk about? And you said, what do you want to talk about in this talk? And you asked me, what are your intentions? Your guides also asked me, what are your intentions for this conversation? And I showed you, which I didn't know too, but I felt it, like I opened my arms so wide, and I created like a sphere of love, and it was like behind me there was pain and suffering and darkness, but I created this sphere where inside something pink was happening, like a peeling away of layers with love and healing are in the sphere. And I said, this is my intention for talking to you, to Laura, physically. And you guys, because you and your guys, you guys were like, okay. And they said, then what we want to talk about is also my intention, Laura's intention, Laura's message. So they said, what we're going to do is we're going to present here our message of the two of us together, like a combined message. When Olga and Laura talk together, we're going to present to you the message that both of us want to share to people. And I saw it like, at first you showed me a visual of like, this is a lamp shade. But also it felt like a UFO. It had many images. It also looks like an eye of illumination. Like this is the illumination, and this is an eye. Also, it looks like a classical UFO coming from above and shining downwards. And it felt very similar to, oh, That's a different story. That's a ghost. Um, it felt very similar to this, but that shining of the light like a lampshade, you're like, this is what I want, this is what my message is. And then I guess they knew that I like to talk a little bit too much. That's why your soul came up with a poem. Okay, so I'm going to read it. A poem is a great way to say a lot of things in a short amount of time and space. Okay, so I'm just going to read it. The time has come to look inside and be illuminated from inside by lights and colors never seen as ours, and be pleasantly surprised by lights that are available to us from home and dust that never lasts, ubiquitous to all who never sleep, as those are eyes and ears that weep for all of us, as fear does. Relinquish power from within, so it's not seen by us or many. And having trust is medicine we bring to this here planet, man, machine. I rest and close my eyes, so darkness dreams of me, not I. And to the darkest soul of all, I veto power from the whole. I let it rest along my side, never to breathe a word or sigh. Pretenses of the ages that won't come, as I am here by your side, embracing arm in arm. We yet shall see the quicksands of tomorrow that will engulf the darkness and the sorrow within our hearts and never lie to either you nor I.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And then you showed me the same message using three metaphors. So you were showing me someone tearing off bandages from themselves. And there was this expectation of there's going to be a lot of pain. If I'm going to tear off bandages, I'm going to have to deal with the darkness that I didn't heal or didn't work with or something like that. And instead, I saw like a white bed sheet or tablecloth being like this, um, shaken, like a message that says you're expecting healing to be so painful, but it doesn't have to be. That like with that metaphor of white tablecloth, it's like fresh blank page, or I don't know, not fresh, just like it can be quite liberating. It doesn't have to be painful for the people who expect healing to be painful. Um, and then you were showing me someone's legs, legs of a very, very tired person and who couldn't really walk anymore. And again, there was this expectation of, I'm going to have to walk more and I'm going to have to walk more. And I'm so tired, I can't do it anymore, but I have to walk more. And then I saw those legs being in water, being submerged in water that was quite salty. And then suddenly those legs were feeling tingly and light and like a release of pressure. And suddenly like those legs were kind of floating up in the salty water and feeling like a release of, I was expecting more walking and more hardship, but actually I now find myself in salty water that's healing and I feel a release and I realize I didn't have to be so hard. It was the second metaphor that sent the same message. And then there was a third metaphor that sent the same message. It was a snake. It was a classroom, and there were many people sitting on chairs. And there was a small green snake going on the floor between the chairs. And my expectation was that, oh, a young green snake, somehow I was expecting is going to bite someone and it's going to poison someone. And I have a green snake in the here in the picture. That's the image of the cover of my book. Anyway, but as the metaphor, as you were continuing to show it to me, you're like, no, and the snake's not gonna poison anyone, but the snake brings a gift of venom, which is medicine. And you were showing that we're not in the stage of being bitten right now and being poisoned. We're in the stage of receiving the medicine of the venom and the wisdom and the healing. So again, with the, like, it's actually the unfolding now. So again, with the third metaphor, you sent the same message, which was you expect things to be harder, but it doesn't have to be. If you kind of like, if you go for it, it doesn't have to be. So then I stopped there because I was like, okay, normally if a soul sends me three messages, three images, stories, which carry the same message, then I understand. And your soul showed me a big screw being driven down. And you're like, we drove down the message. Like we screwed down the message. That is the message. And then I heard illumination from within. And you showed me clouds parting and you said history unseen. So I felt like there's some kind of stuff that you offer, which is illuminating and also liberating. And it's something that we did not expect, but when we receive it, it's liberating and feeling nice and light.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. And definitely a great message out there. And it may be the energy that I bring in and to help others with what I do. On a whole collective, we're all going through a big transition. We're all awakening. Things are uprising, from the shadows, from the darkness, so we can kind of see and have the awareness. So it's very, it aligns definitely. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for this beautiful conversation, which I enjoyed.
You're welcome. And if somebody wanted to book a session with you, where can they find you?
They can write me at expansionscapes@gmail.com. I have also an Etsy shop called Expansionscapes. I have a YouTube channel called Expansionscapes. It's always expansion space with a space scapes. I have 2 books. The one behind me is Tales of the Spirit and the Divine, to help you find the divine inside. And the second book is The 5 Elements, a psychic journey into creation of self and personal reality. And you can find me on Facebook, Expansionscapes Olga Aydınoğlu.
Beautiful. Are your
Thank
books
you.
on Amazon, or where can they find those?
Yes, there are 2 ebooks on Amazon.
Beautiful.
You can just look up my name, Olga Aydınoğlu, which is hard to write, but you can write Tales of the Spirit and the Divine. Then that's easy to find.
Perfect. And then I'll have links down below in the description if anybody's interested. All right. Thank you so much, Olga, for joining us today. It was great having you on, great conversation. And thank you again for the demonstration.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.